Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that one small stretch of ocean has pushed the world closer to a major international crisis. No nuclear weapons, no invasion, just water. An ocean filled with tiny islands, hidden reefs, and invisible lines drawn on maps. Yet this single sea has become one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Every year, warships patrol these waters, military aircraft fly overhead, fishermen are chased away, and countries accuse each other of violating their territory. But here's the real question. Why is everyone fighting over the South China Sea? And why does the rest of the world care so much? Let's find out. Chapter 1. Where is the South China Sea? At first glance, the South China Sea looks like any other tropical ocean. It stretches between China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. Thousands of ships cross it every single day. In fact, around 1/3 of global maritime trade passes through these waters. That means products like smartphones, cars, electronics, fuel, and food often travel through this sea before reaching the rest of the world. If shipping here were seriously disrupted, the effects could spread far beyond Asia. But shipping is only part of the story. Beneath these waters, scientists believe there may be large reserves of oil and natural gas, and the sea supports one of the world's richest fishing regions. Whoever controls these waters gains economic and strategic advantages. Chapter 2. Why are so many countries claiming it? This is where things become complicated. China claims authority over most of the South China Sea using a historical claim often illustrated with a boundary, known as the 9-dash line. However, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan also claim parts of the same region. International maritime law, including the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, provides rules for exclusive economic zones, or EEZs, extending up to 200 nautical miles from a country's coastline. Some of China's claims overlap with areas that other countries say fall within their EEZs. In 2016, an international arbitration tribunal ruled that China's historic claims within the 9-dash line had no legal basis under that treaty. China rejected the ruling. As a result, different countries continue to disagree over who has the legal right to parts of the sea. Chapter 3. The tiny islands with huge importance. Here's what surprises most people. Many of the disputed features aren't even large islands. Some are tiny reefs, sandbars, or rocks barely visible above the water. Yet they are incredibly important, because under international law, control of certain maritime features can affect rights over nearby waters and resources. Countries have built runways, ports, radar stations, and military facilities on some of these features. Satellite images over the years have shown major construction projects in disputed areas. These small pieces of land have become symbols of national security, economic interests, and geopolitical influence. Chapter 4. Why are the United States and Japan involved? If this dispute is in Southeast Asia, why are countries like the United States and Japan paying such close attention? The answer is simple. The United States says it supports freedom of navigation, meaning ships should be able to travel through international waters without unlawful restrictions. It also has defense agreements with allies in the region, including the Philippines. Japan depends heavily on shipping routes that pass through these waters. Any disruption could affect trade and energy supplies. As military activity increases, countries conduct patrols, joint exercises, and diplomatic meetings. Supporters say these actions help maintain stability. Critics worry they increase the risk of misunderstandings or accidental escalation. Chapter 5. Could this affect the entire world? This isn't just a regional disagreement. If tensions were ever to seriously disrupt shipping, global supply chains could feel the impact. Shipping delays can increase transportation costs. Businesses may face shortages of important materials. Consumers around the world could eventually notice higher prices for certain products. Another concern is the possibility of an accident. When military ships and aircraft from different countries operate close to one another, even a small misunderstanding can quickly become a diplomatic crisis. That is why governments continue to emphasize communication, negotiation, and crisis management. The South China Sea has become one of the world's most closely watched strategic regions. So, why is everyone fighting over the South China Sea? Because it's far more than just water. It's about trade, natural resources, national security, international law, and the balance of power in one of the world's busiest regions. The future of this dispute remains uncertain. Some believe diplomacy can reduce tensions. Others worry competition could continue for years. One thing is clear. What happens in the South China Sea doesn't stay in the South China Sea. It can influence economies, international relations, and the lives of millions of people around the world. What do you think? Can diplomacy keep the peace? Or will this remain one of the world's biggest geopolitical flashpoints? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring the world's biggest mysteries, hidden conflicts, and fascinating science, subscribe to Curious Orbit, because the world is far more complicated than it first appears.